Good morning, my name is Ryan. I wanted to make a quick video about plug-and-play humans, and DC is full of doo-doo. For anyone who's not aware, DC has the Potomac River's full of human feces. Why is that? It's because the leftists of today are Marxists, and Marxists think people are plug-and-play. You can take one human out, put another human in, and the same thing's going to happen. And that's not reality. That's not how the world works. It's just not true. It's obvious to anyone with two brain cells when you're talking about a nuclear physicist, right? Nobody wants the guy running the nuclear reactor to be... you don't want to hire the guy flipping burgers at McDonald's to go work at the nuclear reactor to run it. It's a bad idea. And most people get that, right? But a lot of Americans right now don't seem to get that that goes for a lot of things. Things like running the sewer system and the water system, the water department. These aren't necessarily... you don't have to be a rocket scientist to run the water department, but you have to be fairly intelligent, and you have to be competent, and you have to know how to manage people and do things well. The person who got put into that job in DC, resulting in the sewage spill, was a bureaucrat. She was a DEI hire to begin with, worked her way because she was a good apparatchik through the government bureaucracy, which is massive and is strangling this country in 12 different ways, and worked her way up and got put in charge of a water department, something that she knows absolutely nothing about. She has no engineering background, and she's obviously incompetent in hiring the right people and making sure everything's running right. My dad was a CEO of a pretty large corporation, but he worked his way up through the company, and he knew what everybody was supposed to be doing and how they had to do it. And he was a competent individual, very smart, knew how to manage people, knew how to identify problems, and then would work his butt off to fix them. But you put somebody with no motivation, doesn't care, they got put into their job because of their skin color or their gender, and they don't think they have to do anything because they never have had to do anything because they're just a government bureaucrat who just has to stamp stuff and be obedient, and they get promoted. You end up with things like this. End up with things like sewer spills. And that's a big problem with Marxism, leftism in general right now, is that they think we're all plug and play, and they treat homeless people the same way. Like they can just, put us in a shelter and get us a job at Target and everything will be fine, and that doesn't work either. I'm not just a plug-and-play human being. I'm a human being with specific experience, specific biology, specific psychology, and where I fit in isn't where everyone else fits in necessarily, and vice versa. There's a lot of people out there who work at Target who couldn't do what I've done. People are not plug and play. People have different skills, abilities, and talents. And in America, you're supposed to get, the idea of America is that you get promoted and you get your jobs by what you can do, what you've done, your talent, your experience, your knowledge, your drive. Not because you're a good little boy. Not because you vote the right way and pat the right backs. And that's the problem with the left. And, I was thinking about this earlier. I'm not just fighting for conservatives or anarchists or people who believe in freedom. I'm fighting for the leftists, too. I've got leftists in my family. I've got leftist friends. And I want them to have a good life and a good future and be successful at their life and what they do. But that doesn't mean that some of my friends should be put in charge of big government departments. Some of them shouldn't. That won't be successful for them or anybody in society. You've got to find the right place for everybody. And it's got to be done by talent and skill and drive and knowledge. not just being a good boy. And that's going to be a big problem in the future for a lot of these leftists who think that they're going to have their Marxist ideology lead them into some bright future where we're all equal. It's a myth. It's an ideology that's based in mythology that doesn't have anything to do with reality. What you're going to end up with if the left wins is the sewer systems are leaking, people are getting typhoid, people are getting sick, people are getting poo-borne diseases. You can't eat the fish in the river. You know, the city stinks. Nothing works. Everything's broken. The trash isn't getting picked up. The police don't do their job. Nobody cares about anything because all they got to do is be a good little boy and they'll get promoted and they'll get the next job and they'll get put up the next rung of government. And that's going to be a nightmare for everyone, including the leftists. They just don't know it. And that's, you know, not everybody knows everything. Not everybody can be an expert in everything. I'm not an expert in everything. I have a broad base of shallow knowledge of a lot of topics. I have a broad interest in different things, and I'm good at putting all of those different things together and seeing how they connect. But I'm not an expert in everything. You don't want me running a nuclear reactor. I could do a lot of things. I can do a lot of really cool things. I could make somebody a lot of money if they have a little space and are willing to work with me. But you don't want me running your nuclear reactor. You don't want me running your sewer system for LA. And that's reality. And that's the best for everyone. That's how everyone has a better life. Because if you treat everyone like we're all just equal, the same kind of people, nobody has a good life. Yeah, everyone's equal in misery, and that sucks. Who wants to live in a society where everything sucks equally for everyone? How about we make everything as good as possible for everyone, and people are going to have a little bit different experiences. Now, do I think we need to have safety nets and all of that? I think we do. Certainly for extreme cases, for elderly people and for people who are severely disabled, but that needs to be done on a more local level, not the federal level. The federal government needs to shrink down to about nothing. Check out the 10th Amendment Center and their videos for information on what the federal government should be doing and what they shouldn't be doing. They make some great videos. But that's about it for now. We're not plug and play. I'm not plug and play. You're not plug and play. Nobody's plug and play. We're all different. We all have different skills. And that's what has made America great, is that we allow people to succeed where they can, and people who can't succeed somewhere, we find somewhere else for them to go. And that turns out throughout history, very factually, you can't debate it, that is the best system we've got. And the leftist Marxist garbage that the people who don't know any better are trying to push on us has proven to be a failure over and over and over. So getting them to understand that would be a good first start. I don't know how we do it. They don't like talking about things too much. They go from listen to me or you're a Nazi and I'm going to beat you up. How do you have a conversation with people like that? It's tough, but we got to figure something out because we got to save America. And I appreciate everybody listening. Hit like, subscribe, share, comment. Tell me I'm ugly. Tell me I stink. Tell me I'm stupid. I don't know what I'm talking about. Or give me a suggestion for a topic you want to hear me talk about. I appreciate it. Thanks for your time. God bless.